The Spotlight, shining a light on podcasts and videos that have caught our attention.
Hi and welcome to The Spotlight. I'm Jen Spiker and today I have something special to share with you. Ken Ham is the founder of Answers in Genesis, an apologetics ministry dedicated to enabling Christians to defend their faith and proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ effectively. Recently, Robbo had the privilege of speaking with Ken at Answers in Genesis, which is based in northern Kentucky. He began by reminding Ken of the humble beginnings of his ministry in Australia almost 50 years ago.
The Spotlight with Jen Spiker.
Well, I'm sitting in the Creation Museum. I'm here with Ken Ham, the founder of Answers in Genesis, and everything that I've seen today, there's so many different parts to your ministry, Ken. I mean, you've got the Creation Museum, the Ark Encounter, and so much more. It's just, my mind is just absolutely blown as to what you guys are doing here. And it's all come from very humble beginnings from a home in the southern suburbs of Brisbane.
Yes, in Sunnybank Hills back in 1977, when I and a school teacher friend ran the first ever Creation Apologetic Seminar in Brisbane, and people saw some of the books that I had found from around the world with answers in regard to the creation evolution issue, the book of Genesis, and they said, how do we get these materials? We don't have this information. And so my wife and I agreed to start a little bookstore in the front of our house in Sunnybank Hills. We put a little extension. Actually, it was filling in a patio, a tiny patio, and eventually we actually put an extension on the back. But that's where it began in 1977. I left school teaching in 1979. In 1980, I and one of the board members who helped us start the ministry prayed on a piece of property between Brisbane and the Gold Coast that the Lord would let us build a creation museum. And the Lord answered that prayer in 2007 in northern Kentucky. Now, it's a long story.
Yeah.
But it's a reminder God's ways are not our ways.
That's amazing.
His ways are different to ours. And then in 2016, we opened the Ark Encounter. So now we have the two leading Christian-themed attractions in the world here. We've had millions of people, I think total of about 14 million people go through these attractions since the museum was open. We get about 1 to 1.2 million people at the Ark right now each year, and about 500,000 at the Creation Museum. The Creation Museum was never meant to take the numbers that are here, but we're building a whole big new attraction outside, a conservatory, the biggest conservatory in Kentucky, 4 massive glass greenhouses that are all climate controlled that'll exhibit the plants of the Bible and be very evangelistic. And so we have the Ark Encounter, which is life-size Noah's Ark, and we also have a zoo there. We have a virtual reality experience. We have a carousel, wonderful children's playground. We have zip lines. We have a conference center, 2,500-seat auditorium with workshop rooms underneath. We have a science lab for all sorts of student programs. And we're building a new welcome center and a building to house the most up-to-date model of first century Jerusalem in the world. That won't be open until 2026. The welcome center will be open in 2025. We're building a new zoo here at the Creation Museum, which will be open this year. The conservatory will be open this year, 2024. We have massive Christmas programs. We have tens of thousands of people come to them. It's free, an outreach to the public. We have stunning lights, some of the best you'll see in America. We have live nativity, we have all sorts of dramas, we have concerts, we have groups come in. We run the biggest Christian music festival in the world at the Ark Encounter that begins at the end of August, goes through September.
It's very creatively called 40 Days and 40 Nights, which I love.
Yeah, we call it 40-40. And it's a very evangelistic program because we have these leading artists that are there. Starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, do a concert. Then we have 30 minutes of Bible teaching and gospel presentation. I do a number of those. And then another concert with different artists. And we mix different genres of music, which you're supposed to not do, but people love it. We always think outside the box. And last year we had 2,047 people come to know the Lord as a result of just the Christian Music Festival. I mean, we would say true commitments. They all get a Bible and so on. As well as that, we have a Christian school called Answers Academy. We just moved into our new building. We actually took over a building that was left for a number of years by Toyota. Their national headquarters and their global data center was here, and they went to Texas, and that building stood for a few years, and we were able to get it at a fraction of the cost, and we're going to move all our offices in there. We're currently renovating that. It's a massive building. It's actually about the size of the Ark. So the Ark is 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, 1.5 times the length of a football field, and it stands 10 stories high at the bow level. This building is just a little longer than the Ark, and it's 4 stories high. The Ark is made of 3.3 million board feet of timber. Now, as well as that, we have the whole ministry of Answers in Genesis. So we have our own design studios, which Robbo, I just took you through.
Oh, it's just incredible.
And so we have carpenters, we have welders, we have all sorts of fabricators and sculptors. And took you into our 3D room. We have one room set up with 110 3D printers, and we have 40 more being installed. And that'll all be part of building the Jerusalem model, which will be 5,000 buildings, 15,000 people. The model will be 1/100th of scale. So in American terminology, the model is about 2,000 square feet in area. I'm not sure what that is, 70 square meters or something like that. No, actually, 700 square, 700 square meters. I'm trying to convert to metric. I mean, Americans are way behind in regard to that. We also have our own AV studios downtown Cincinnati. We're able to procure a couple of buildings with a TV studio and audio studios in there that are absolutely magnificent. It's another miracle, the way we're able to get those. So we've got a bit of a big footprint here in the Kentucky area, and people come from all over the world. 30% non-Christian come to the Ark.
Really? Wow.
And it's interesting. I've been there on days when I've actually seen on the same day Buddhists, Sikhs, Orthodox Jews, a group of Muslims from Baghdad, Catholic nuns, priests. We also get a large number of Mennonites and Amish, because there's within 3 to 4 hours of here, we have 2 big Amish Mennonite communities, and then there's another one that'll be about 7 to 8 hours from here. They come in droves because they love family-friendly places. So they bring big busloads of Mennonite and Amish. We even get Baptists come here. And even Presbyterians and Methodists, and maybe not so much Methodists, but no, we get all sorts of denominations here. And the different ethnic groups, that's what people are often amazed at. People with all shades of skin, from dark through to light and everywhere in between, and different dress from different countries. And, of course, we get a lot of Canadians come down here because we're not that far from Ontario, Canada. But I met somebody this morning after I spoke from Quebec who was here. But we get people come from Europe, from all over the world, in fact. We had someone here today who's a missionary in Myanmar, which used to be Burma. So we get all sorts of people coming here, 30% non-Christian. And we hear so many testimonies of people who are won to the Lord through this, and you can walk through all 3 decks of the Ark, as you did, and 130 different exhibits. And we answer all these questions people have about the Bible and present the truth of God's Word and the saving gospel. And so I say to people, these are non-woke, family-friendly Christian places. We're very overt about the Christian message. And actually non-Christians come and tell us how much they enjoy it. We don't hit them on the head, but we present it nicely, but boldly, without compromise. And they know who we are. I think what it is it's the exhibits that do the teaching. Yes. And so it's not like they're listening to a person telling them, you believe this. It's the exhibits do all the teaching and answering questions. And it's an incredible witness when you think about it.
It is amazing. That's the thing I loved going through the Ark this morning. I did the VR experience first. The gospel is presented really clearly in every, all those different areas. And there's a brilliant walkthrough towards the end where you basically walk through like a cartoon, effectively, but it's presenting the story.
Graphic novel presentation of the gospel. Yeah. We also have a zoo at the Ark, and a brand new zoo that we're opening at the Creation Museum actually in a few weeks. You just miss out on that. You have to come back. But we also have a stage down there at the Ark Encounter Zoo. There's a walk-through kangaroo area. Yes, I saw that. We have kangaroos and we have emus, and we have a petting zoo there as well, and we have all sorts of other animals, lemurs and sloths and so on. But we present everything from a biblical worldview perspective. So, the signs are always teaching about kinds. So, we have a zorse and a zonkey and a zebra and a donkey, help people understand they're all part of the horse kind. We also, we have the kangaroos and wallabies. They're all part of the kangaroo kind. So here at the Creation Museum, we're building a walk-through wallaby area. I think it's the Bennett's wallaby that we'll have here. And we'll have some king vultures as well in a big outdoor exhibit. There's all sorts of different animals going in here, in a petting area as well for kids. But we do live animal presentations daily at the Ark and the Creation Museum, all from a biblical worldview perspective. So it's so refreshing. It's so different to anywhere else. And so people can be assured when they come here, they don't have to worry about what their kids or they are going to hear or see. We have top-notch security. You've seen our security.
Yes, it's amazing.
And we have safety officers. They're watching cameras. I mean, we got a room like a Las Vegas casino.
Yeah.
We have one at the museum and even our Christian school. But we have very tight security. And as people come in, I just took you through our security system coming into the Welcome Centre. And it didn't pull you aside because you didn't have a gun or anything like that. But it looks for it. You can just walk through at normal speed, but it looks for anything we've programmed it to look for. So if you get something that's shaped like a gun or a knife or whatever, it picks those up and they'll pull you aside. And we ask people, this is America, right? And so a lot of people are armed, and in Kentucky, it's a carry state. So if they have a gun on them, we ask them to take them back to their cars, or we can put them in a safe locker for them. But I was amazed.
I asked the guy, do you get any guns? And he showed me on the stats it's had over 2,000 guns detected as people have walked through.
Yeah, and that's because, when you look at what's happening in America with all the violence and so on, it's a part of the, Constitution too, the right to bear arms, which is a part of America's history. So I'm not going to get into pro or against guns or anything like that. It's just the way the culture is. It's interesting. President Biden actually recently announced that, he wants to ban guns because they're the biggest cause of death amongst children. More children killed by bullets than anything else. But if you look it up on the website, it's not. It's nowhere near that. It's not even in the top number or anything like that. So, you got to research carefully some of these statements that are being made about America. But, sadly, we're seeing incredible violence, particularly, in the liberal-run cities. They are terrible. I mean, there are people moving out in droves. They're not safe to live in anymore. It's the bankruptcy of liberal policies that believe that man is basically good, and therefore, if you improve their environment, they'll be better. Yeah. That's not true. Man is bad. The heart of man is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. So we have to assume that man's heart is bad, which is why we want to have the best security we can. And people love that. People tell us they feel more safe here than they do at a lot of other places.
On the Spotlight, we've been listening to the beginning of a conversation between Robbo and the founder of Answers in Genesis, Ken Ham. It's wonderful to hear of the impact that this ministry's had around the world since its inception in a family home in Brisbane almost 50 years ago. We'll hear more of this interview with Ken Ham next time on The Spotlight. If you want to hear the rest of their conversation right now, you'll find it in the Rise and Shine feed in the podcast tab. My name is Jen Spiker, and I look forward to joining you next time on The Spotlight with more of this conversation with Ken Ham as he reflects on why God has blessed the ministry in the way he has.
For more great podcasts and videos like the one featured today, check out vision.org.au or the free Vision app.